we are from Group 9 and this is our group project too. We've done a poster entitled The Impact of COVID-19, Large-Scale Restriction on the Environment and Economy in Indonesia. This article was written by Rezi Eko Karaka, Ricky Harlensha, Robert Kurniawan, and 7 others more. It was preprint in Global Journal of Environmental Science and Management in May 2020. As for the introduction, according to the authors, disaster risk assessment can be carried out if there is preparation strategy in place to lessen the severity of the impacts. Also, disaster mitigation can be used as a work plan as well as to raise people's awareness about how to deal with or lessen the consequences of disasters like COVID-19, which has had a variety of negative implications, particularly in economic sector.
Okay, next I will present about the methodology that the researchers use in this study. There are 3 methodologies used by the researchers in this study. First is study area. Study area means the land surface area which was mapped and quantitatively sampled during the baseline vegetation inventory. The researchers in this article conduct a study in Jakarta, Indonesia. Apart from that, the researchers also conduct study in several areas, namely West Java, East Java, and Central Java. Second is data collection. Data collection is a process of collecting information from all the relevant sources to find answer to the research problem, test the hypothesis, and evaluate the outcomes. Data collection method can be divided into 2 categories: secondary methods of data collection and primary methods of data collection. In this study, difference in CO, HCHO, NO2, and SO2 densities were measured in the 5 study area. Then, Sentinel 5P is used to get data access and extract using Google Earth Engine. Lastly is data analysis. Data analysis is a process of inspecting, cleansing, transforming, and modeling data with the goal of discovering useful information, informing conclusion, and supporting decision making. Data analysis has multiple phases and approaches encompassing diverse techniques under a variety of names and is used in different business, science, and social domains. Due to the small size of the data, the well-sucks-on test with an alpha signification level A equal 5% by using EQ1 is performed to test the difference. Will-sucks-on can also be used to compare the mean value of variable to paired sample data.
I'm Nurfariza Izzati. I will continue the part of result for the first point, which is impact on density of CO, HCHO, NO2 and SO2 density. The government implemented a large-scale social restriction when the first COVID-19 case was disclosed in Indonesia, and DKI Jakarta became the COVID-19 epicenter in the country. Figure 1 until 4 shows CO, HCHO, and NO2, SO2 density January until May 2020 in Jakarta and other places in Indonesia. Green space can only create a limited amount of oxygen, causing polluting gases to be poorly absorbed. The finding also showed that the density of SO2 does not change significantly.
Hi, my name is Lisa Sinusun. Next, we move to the next point, which is mobility before and after large-scale restriction. The COVID-19 pandemic has changed the pattern of population mobility, as can be seen in Figure 5, which is mobility retail. The large-scale limitation policy alters the patterns of people migration to markets, supermarkets, pharmacies, and retail establishments. The drop in travel is predicted to be greater as the number of COVID-19 positive cases rises. This trend of population mobility will persist throughout the COVID-19 pandemic, at least until the COVID-19 curve begins to flatten. Next, economic impact. Many companies have implemented a system of reducing employee density by working 2 weeks and then 2 weeks off to prevent the spread of the coronavirus. Of course, this has a negative impact on production, and companies are suffering massive losses, ranging from manufacturing to the garment industry to services. The supply chain in manufacturing companies is severely disrupted, causing the production process to be hampered, and the tourism industry seen significant drop in visitors because of the numerous aircraft cancellation, which has an impact on the catering and also for the non-food retail business. To put it another way, COVID-19 causes widespread economic disruption in Indonesia. People who are unable to work lose money and less purchasing power. Apart from that, the industrial sector has seen a significant drop in sales and forced companies to fire people since they are unable to pay them. The GDP is disseminated depending on the expenditure category in Figure 6, as can be observed from the graph. Several expenditure subcomponents are conflicting. That's all from me. We move to the next presenter.
Assalamualaikum and hi, my name is Izzatul Yasmin binti Safri, number metric BB191104141. So for conclusion, Indonesia is one of the largest Muslim countries in the world, and its people have a tradition after completing the worship in the fasting month. Then it will be traveling to visit close relatives and families. In a nutshell, during this pandemic, although I strongly recommend the government to allocate more needs to individuals. This research shown that many people will experience a crisis due to this pandemic. In general, it is seen from the destiny of pollution that it is better to do large-scale restriction. Nevertheless, if we extend the large-scale restrictions, then the economy will gradually weak. In line with this, the government should do the new normal, which carries out activity like normal, but there are still restrictions on behavior, like wearing a mask, routinely washing hands with soap, keeping a physical distance, and avoiding crowd. So, for acknowledgements, this study is fully supported by National Research Foundation of Korea grants. This study is as part of Ministry of Science and Technology under grant. This paper in part of Chaoyang University of Technology and the Higher Education Sprout Project Ministry of Education, Taiwan under the project name the R&D and the cultivation of talent for health enhancement products. The study is also part of Hiba article Universitas Padjadjaran under grant. This research in part of Bina Nusantara University.